Live from the Jack and Jones Shredder Studio in beautiful CCM at the University of Cincinnati, it's the Dennis Daniels Show! Tonight's guest, voice actress Rebecca Forstadt, plus John Pokemon and the Dennis Daniels Show Band. And now, here is your host. He is the 2009 Bearcast Innovator of the Year, Boogaloo Shrimp, Dennis Daniels!
There will be no stopping. It's when you go harder than somebody, man. This right here is domination. This here what you call domination. It's a combination of skill and concentration. So rise to the occasion. Do something amazing. Cause anything that I do, I dominate it. This here what you call domination. It's a combination of skill and concentration. So rise to the occasion. Do something amazing. Cause anything that I do, I dominate it. I'm stronger, go harder. I'm the monster, I conquer. Dominate anything I want to. My passion, my skill, my focus, my hunger. Just to put it simple, I'm not. Yes, I just want it more than the next.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, I welcome you back to the hottest talk show segment of 1955, The Dennis Daniels Show. And I am your host. I am the DJ that makes them cry when they cry. Why? I don't know. And BearcastRadio.com's Innovator of the Year for 2009, Dennis Daniel. Yeah. All right, settle down. You know, I'm miffed, John. You know why I'm miffed?
Why are you miffed?
Someone who was high on the marijuana and watching the MTV gave Snooki a book.
Gave her a book. Oh, okay.
A book. The sure thing.
The sure thing. All right. Well, you see, there's a problem with this logic here. In order to have a book published, it's expected that you have the ability to not only read but write as well.
Oh,
which I don't believe she possesses either of those attributes.
Well, what do you expect when you hang out with a guy who calls himself in a six-pack of The Situation?
The Situation. Uh-oh, it's a situation.
It's a situation because they probably don't know how to read.
Exactly.
You know, again, folks, I have said this once. I'm pretty sure it's been said 1,000 times.
I just think if you don't read the newspaper and the only TV you watch is the MTV, you shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Or read or write a book. Writing a book. Pretty amazing stuff there. Oh, but folks, give it up once again. He is the Kione to my Mihoshi, the boss, the Mon, the John Pokemon.
He's Dr. Love.
What?
Like the Kiss song they played on the Kiss Dr. Pepper commercials.
I didn't
with a kiss of cherry.
Trust me, I'm a doctor. It's like having Dr. Dre.
Exactly.
He's not a doctor.
He's a doctor of thugonomics.
Until that becomes a major philosophical study at the University of Cincinnati, you are not a real doctor.
Exactly.
But guys, I tell you, last time on the show, we had none other than actor and producer Henry Winkler, a.k.a. The Fonz.
Hey. All right.
It was Coolerino.
Now sit on it.
Sit on it, kids. John, now where were you when all this Fonzie nonsense was going on?
During the day of the Henry Winkler interview, I was at 800 Broadway, downtown Cincinnati, at the Hamilton County Courthouse, fulfilling my civil duties as a material witness in a misdemeanor case.
And what was the real kick in the crotch?
I didn't even have to testify.
He didn't have to testify.
So that's 4 hours of my life that I'm never going to get back.
And he missed interviewing the Fonz.
Exactly. To sit down at the Hamilton County Courthouse, the zoo that it is down there. Zoo, circus, freak show, sideshow, and etc.
You see what you did, Hamilton County Courthouse? You made my brother miss his one chance to interview the Fonz.
Yep.
And he will never be the same again.
And do you know what I got in return for these civil duties?
What'd you get in return for civil duties?
They stamped my subpoena for a $6 check.
$6?
$6. A day out of work, a day out of school, and we had to pay to park down there. And they gave me $6 for all my trouble.
That's kind of hurting there,
So,
John.
yeah, the philosophy that I went by, I didn't even wait in line to go get the check sent out because the city needs it more than I do.
Not even worth the paper it was printed on. But you know what you can buy with a $6 check, John?
What's that?
$5 foot long.
This is true. This is very true.
You can buy a $5 foot long. You know, it's pretty good stuff there.
Yeah.
Well, John, I'm glad you're here today because we have got a very, 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 very awesome edition of the Dennis Daniel Show.
This is what I hear.
Tonight on the Dennis Daniel Show, we have got none other than voice actress Rebecca Forstadt. Now, if you don't know who Rebecca Forstadt is, then maybe you're looking at an anime where she has a different name, because she's got different names too. You know, she's not just billed as Rebecca Forstadt. You know, she's sometimes billed as Reba West, or maybe she's billed as Rebecca Okowski. Okowski. Or Becky Okowski. You know?
Yes. Yeah.
So you might not see her, or you might see her name, or might not recognize her, but she's there, trust me.
She has many aliases.
Really, aliases. You know, John, he's got some aliases too, so you and Rebecca have something in common.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a man of many names.
But Rebecca Forstadt, oh man, she is an incredible voice actress. John, you know, a lot of people, they can do all kinds of roles. They can do aliens. They can do big, tough guys. But it takes a lot of guts to do a majority of your voicing as a kid.
Exactly, yeah, that definitely seems difficult.
And Rebecca, you know, she's the go-to girl when you need a little kid voice, because I don't know how it's possible. I don't know how she can do it, how she does it. It's amazing, but she's got this amazing voice. But you know what? You shouldn't just take my word for it. You know why? Because I got a bit of a demo reel here.
Alrighty, well, so let's hear it then.
Let's take a quick listen to the many voices of Rebecca Forstadt.
To be in love must be the sweetest feeling that a girl can feel. To be in love, to live a dream with somebody you care about like no one else. A special man, a dearest man who needs to share his life with you alone. Who holds you close and feel things that only love brings. To know that he is all your own. He needs I just hate humans. I hate humans so much. Hey, Keone, look, they've got frozen tangerines.
I don't care if they've got frozen dinosaurs! Who's responsible for us being on this planet in the first place? You have any idea?
Let me think.
You're so slow!
Uh-oh.
Well, you've done it again, Mihoshi.
Wait! If I put this big pot over the hole, I can get this little mess cleaned up before anybody notices.
This isn't a little mess, it's a disaster zone!
Oh, well, accidents will happen. It must be Twinkle.
Well, but it's still just a rumor, right?
Maybe, but we'll never find it if we don't go looking for it. Ha! Wumbo! She's very impulsive, isn't she? Well, it seems to me you and Mion have learned all kinds of good lessons from this. I guess maybe you'll grow up to be good adults after all.
That's right. And because you study all the time, I'm sure you're going to be a fine adult as well.
Well, yeah, of course I will. When I grow up, I'm going to be something amazing. Just wait and see. Mr. Strong's leaky roof repair. Miss Giggle speaking.
Hello, Miss Giggles. I'm afraid I have an extremely serious problem. I don't find any of this humorous.
I'm sorry, Mr. Fussy. What seems to be the problem? Kazuya, Mr. Kasagi says he really likes me. Kazuya, I want you to play with me. Come outside.
Wait a minute, Reina.
Play now.
Hey, Reina?
Reina, please listen. You really mustn't put Kazuya on the spot like this. It isn't right.
So as you can see, John, she's got a very, very, very diverse ability to do voices.
Yeah, from the sound of that, I definitely could not do that.
I think I saw her in a children's medicine commercial yesterday. I was watching House, and there was this commercial with all these little stuffed animals, and I could have sworn at the back of my head I heard this little lion thing. Is that Rebecca Forstadt? We'll have to ask her.
Yeah, we will.
But, she's done, a few of the roles she's done. She's best known as Lynn Minmay from the critically acclaimed Robotech. We get all these people from Robotech. We had Wendy Lee, she was from Robotech.
Robotech. Is Robotech the same as RoboCop?
No, it's a lot different.
Oh, okay,
there's a lot of jet fighting and
bang, 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 bang.
And Lynn Minmay's a hot chick who can sing, and it's amazing.
Gotcha.
This is some good stuff. She's also known as Reika in When They Cry, which is a pretty messed up show. It's pretty messed up, you know.
If it's called When They Cry, yeah, I can imagine that being.
No, you gotta see this to believe it. These little kids, and it's an alternating story about how they kill each other.
Oh, wow.
And it's gory. It's some gory stuff.
That's dark.
And she's also this character from the show Rose Maiden, Suisei Seki. She was the one going, I hate humans, I hate them so much. And I'm like, no, look, I got nothing against the voice. I got nothing against the show. I got the character. You know, hey, humans are taking care of you, you know. You got to watch yourself there, Suisei Seki. You might end up getting that ass kicked.
And then there will be a reenactment of that.
Reenactment of me kicking her ass.
Exactly.
And the real crotch puncher is, it's a doll.
Is it?
A foot doll.
Oh, okay.
If we get that on the show, well, she might be the first guest to get punt kicked.
Meet me at the bike racks.
No, get on a second phone book and say it to my face.
Yeah, exactly.
But, but maybe we should get right down to it. Next guest is a very critically acclaimed voice actress known as Lynn Minmay from Robotech, Mihoshi from the Tenchi series, Reika from When They Cry, Suisei Seki from Rose Maiden. She's just got a long, long, long list of characters she has been in. It's just amazing how many she's been in. And we're going to talk to her right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, give it up. She is the one, the only Miss Rebecca Forstadt! Rebecca, thank you, and welcome to the Dennis Daniels Show.
Oh, thank you, Denny. I'm just completely overwhelmed. I can't believe I'm following the Fonz.
Well, you're following a list of great people, Rebecca. You know, whether you're following the Fonz, whether you're following Wendy Lee, whether you're following John Cena, you're following a long list of guests. And we've been having requests to get you on the show after we had Wendy Lee and Crispin Freeman and Vic Mignogna, because apparently you guys are popular for some reason. And I mean, after that little role I did, I can't see why not.
Well, I'm amazed. Thank you.
Don't be too humble, Rebecca. You have earned this. You've just been a big icon in anime voice acting, and a lot of people, they look up and they say, "Is that Rebecca? She did that voice?" Maybe you can answer that question for me. Were you in a recent children's medicine commercial?
No, I wish I was. I was an imposter.
I could have. It must have been a clone or something. I don't know, because I could have swore. But then again, I was watching House, so maybe I was smoking the marijuana,
imagining things. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know where they got that voice from. I'll have to check it.
Yeah, you'll have to check it. I forgot the name. I had the name in my hand, and I forgot it, and I apologize. So. Okay, well, I guess the appropriate place to begin was what got you interested in voice acting, or acting for that matter?
Well, I've always wanted to be an actor when I was in, actually, I guess I got really interested in it in high school, and, started doing plays and everything, and then I started working at Knott's Berry Farm doing melodramas as the heroine in the shows, and I was tied to the railroad tracks and all that stuff. And I went to college and I was a theater major, and then I decided I was going to go to Hollywood. I wasn't going to get a degree because I didn't want to be a teacher. I just wanted to be an actor. So I went to Hollywood, started taking acting classes. I kind of got a little bit waylaid for a while because I met a producer who got me on a show as a wardrobe person, so I did wardrobe for a little while. But then I wanted to be, I just really wasn't what I wanted to do, even though I was making really good money, and it was like the stupidest thing that I could have ever done, like quitting that. But so I found there was like a publication in Hollywood called Dramalog, and it's where all the actors would go, and they could find some work in this paper, and they had an ad for somebody that could do kid voices. So I thought, well, I have a kid voice, so this is perfect. So I went there, and it turned out to be this place that was dubbing films and dubbing some anime stuff. I didn't really know that much about anime other than having seen Speed Racer and Kimba the White Lion and, long, long time ago. And so I started working there and just really never stopped for about, it's been like over 30 years. doing a lot of anime, but I also did commercials and background voices in films and original cartoons, but mainly anime.
Yeah, just give a little background about you. You studied theater at the Orange Coast College in Costa Mesa, California, and afterwards you would go on to begin by working at the Knott's Berry Farm Birdcage Theater, where you perform melodramas, like you said, often as the damsel in distress character. What was so unique that you'd want to play a damsel in distress?
Well, it was fun. Actually, Steve Martin got his start at that place. So he worked there, and Dean Jones, who was like in a lot of Disney films, worked there. And there was a woman who was working there at the same time that I was working there, and she became the cruise director on the Love Boat.
The Love Boat.
Yeah,
something words.
Yeah, so it was a pretty good place to work, and it was a lot of fun, and we'd do like 6 shows a day, and when we weren't on stage, we were out pitching, bringing people into the show, or working the box office, or sometimes I even played the steam calliope.
What's a steam calliope?
It's like a steam organ, sort of. I didn't really play piano that well, but I could fake it a little bit, so I was able to do that, and it was just great. I worked there for 3 years.
Well, it's cool that you played the organ. We got an organ, and did we ever get it working, John?
No, it's just been sitting dormant for, I don't know, the past 6 years.
So if you ever needed to, get some experience winging how to play the organ, it's yours. So.
Well, I can't even play anything anymore.
Well, between you and me, it's the same with me and my trumpet. But that's cool. So, like you said, you later went on to Hollywood, where you would work as a wardrobe mistress on shows like White Shadow and the film SOB. So I guess it's like a wardrobe, like a gopher. You go for this outfit, go for that outfit.
Sort of. Yeah, I worked on Hill Street Blues as well, and I was the person that was on the set, and I would dress the actors, and sometimes I would be dressing, for some reason I was always dressing the male actors, I don't know why. Like on the White Shadow, it was all about a basketball team, and I'd be walking out at the end of the day with like a bunch of clothes with big, huge tennis shoes. It's like you couldn't even see me. There'd be like these size 15 tennis shoes I was trying to walk around with, and dirty jock straps and all kinds of fun. Oh God, it was a lot of work.
Probably want to disinfect your hands after handling them.
Yeah,
that's pretty
bad.
I've heard of some real stinking jobs, but I don't know, that one took the cake.
Well, yeah, normally women always did women's costumes, but for some reason I was doing men's. I don't know why, but
maybe you were just lucky.
Yeah,
or they just liked you. BearcastRadio.com. This is the Dennis Daniels Show. We've got Rebecca Forstadt on the air. If you have got questions, head on over to the Twitter thingy at twitter.com/ATExplosion or IMS questions at DJ Bearcast. John is going to get that little sum gun up and running. So if you have got questions, that's understandable. Now, after you did all this acting stuff, you went on and you became known as possibly one of the most well-known characters in anime of the late 80s, the very popular Lynn Minmay from the critically acclaimed Robotech. How did you get picked for that part?
Well, it was at that same place that I got hired at that was looking for kid voices, and before that happened, we were kind of doing these little shows. We had no clue where they were going, and they just sort of seemed to go off into, I don't know where, just off in the airwaves somewhere, but not on major TV. And all of a sudden, Carl Masick comes in with this project called Robotech, and so they started casting for it, and we were just kind of thinking, well, it's just going to be like another show. And they asked me if I could sing, and I wasn't really a professional singer. I'd sung a little bit, just in shows and stuff, but I didn't really do a lot of musical shows. And so all I did was I sang It's My Party a cappella and forgot most of the words, and they gave me the part.
Wow. Yeah,
I think it was based on my acting.
Oh, well, we played the small clip from the episode. You got a very, very, very beautiful voice.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm pretty sure you've heard that from almost everyone you come in contact with, but just it's a very nice. And I recently read that the original cast got back together last year for the Robotech 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
And you know why everything's turning 25 all of a sudden? You know, Robotech, Back to the Future, WrestleMania. Why do we live? What was 2010 the year of the 25th anniversary things?
I don't know. I'm only 29.
Well, if you're 29, then I'm 15. No, but in all seriousness, yeah, you're fine. And I know we lost Carl Masick last year. And,
yeah, that was really sad.
What was it like to work with Carl?
Oh, he was a sweetheart. He was just one of these guys that was, he was so interested in so many different subjects, and he would just talk your ear off, talking about them. And, he was really into movies and science fiction, and he liked good food and good wine, and, he was just a really, really sweet guy. And so it was really a shame that happened, because I had seen him a couple weeks before he passed away, and he actually looked better than he looked before than I'd seen him before. So I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, Wendy Lee had nothing but positive things to say about Carl Masick when she was on the show. And I'd never seen him personally, but from what I've heard, he sounded like he was a really, really great man. And he was. And
he really, I think the important thing about him was he really was able to bring the anime genre really into America for quite a long time, up until just recently. Well, it's really slowed down a lot recently, but really for 30 years it was going really, really strong.
Yeah, a true anime gem has been lost to the world, my friends.
Yeah.
But it's important to get these things, down, enjoy life to the very best each day, live it like it was your last, because you never know, it might be.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't that much older than me.
Oh. Well, that's still pretty young, so
That's scary.
I really got to stop doing that. Now, aside from anime, you've done some live-action work as well.
Yeah, well, I did it for a little while, up until I had kids, and then it was just easier to do voiceovers, but I starred in a couple of films and did some work, like just small bit parts on TV shows. That's how I got my SAG card. But I starred in two films. One was with Ruth Gordon, who was the star of Harold and Maude. That was a real classic film. She was really funny. And it was a sorority film where she played the house mother, and I was the nerd in the sorority. And that was called Mugsy's Girls. It's also called Delta Pi. They kind of renamed it. I don't know what it is really officially. And then there was another film I did called Round Numbers that I had a really big part in. And that was starring Kate Mulgrew, who was in Star Trek Voyager, and Samantha Egger and Marty Ingalls, and it was they were both pretty bad movies, really, but it was fun.
Yeah, on the budget, they let those movies boldly go.
Yeah, they came out on DVD basically, or at the time it was not even DVD, it was VHS. But yeah, that was a lot of fun to do that.
I saw when you were talking about Mugsy Girl, I remember I heard on your website, RebeccaForstadt.com, which we will have a link to on the AllTasteExplosion.com webpage. I really liked your animation reel. That was something.
Actually, I want you to give me that demo that you made.
Oh, sure. That was good. Well, all I did was just I used Audio Hijack Pro to record a couple of clips off of YouTube and just slap it together, and just it wasn't even my best stuff. I mean, I was gonna add a few things to it, add some fade-ins, maybe find some more voices. It's a good thing that you can't find all that stuff on YouTube, because anime piracy, man, it's gonna kill that. And we talk about
you're admitting it on the air.
Yes, we talk about it a lot with our voice guests. What is your view on piracy in the anime industry?
Well, I think that's been the problem right now. Is that that's the reason that Japan is actually stopping. They're not producing as much anymore, and I was reading an article where it was saying that was the reason why. So mainly Japan right now is just producing a lot of the hentai stuff. So they're not putting out as much product as they used to.
Speaking of hentai, and I cannot believe I still remember this. My friend Toby introduced me to this. You were in a little show called Eiken.
I was.
I think so. Eiken as Komoe Harumachi.
Oh, well, maybe, yeah.
You don't remember? Oh, that was that.
Well, I don't remember every single project I worked on. I have to look myself up on the IMDb most of the time.
It's something. It's something special.
One of those, huh?
It's a little kid, glasses, and big watermelon boobs. So.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I can't forget that one.
It was. There's some things that should be in hentai, and there are some things that shouldn't. And that little girl with big boobs that shouldn't have been in a hentai.
Yeah.
But aside from that, you're known for a lot of great roles. Gatekeepers 21, Ayane Isuzu, Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex, those little Tachikoma tanks. Now those are some pretty cool tanks there.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
But aside from doing voices, and I gotta say, my favorite voice, hands down, Tenchi in Tokyo with You as Mihoshi. That was my favorite.
Oh, good.
It was just, you felt bad for her, but it was just always bundling things up, and of course Wendy Lee played co-star as Kione, so that was the perfect duo right there. Get you and Wendy Lee in an anime, done. Just game over. It's good. It's a hit.
Tell everybody that.
Okay. Everyone, you get Rebecca Forstadt and Wendy Lee, and you put them in the same anime, you got a hit. and of course, aside from doing anime, you've also done some writing, and you've written for several shows, including Digimon, Samurai X, and Wild Arms.
Right.
How does it differ from voicing an anime to writing for an anime? And we talked about this with Wendy Lee when she's also written for several anime as well. So what's that like?
It's pure torture. See, when I was doing it. I'm not doing it anymore, but when I was doing it, I was using a VHS and a jog wheel and everything, and it was kind of hard. It's like we had to spot all the time code and then try to write the words to match the lip movements. So it's sort of like a mental puzzle that you're trying to solve, and you have to make the dialogue make sense, be funny or be dramatic, and also fit in with the lips. So it's really different than writing kind of a free-form style. So I would just I'd be sitting at the computer and then have to get up every 5 minutes to go to the refrigerator or something, because it was driving me nuts. But I did it for about 10 years.
I couldn't do writing because you watch it and you're worried that it's already been done before.
Yeah, I actually quit because one of the reasons I quit was I was working for Saban, and Saban was pretty good at, Digimon and all that. They were paying pretty well. And then when Saban got sold to Disney, all these other studios came and just undercut everything. So they were paying about a third of what they had been paying before, and it just was a lot of work for not very much. So
that was a dark day, I believe.
Yeah.
Now you got the Power Rangers Samurai.
I just ran into Hayam Saban the other day, which was kind of funny because he was doing a big benefit at the Century Plaza Hotel, and my daughter works for a big PR firm, and he was putting on this huge event and had Jason Alexander and Andrea Bocelli there, and it was pretty exciting.
Sounds like a who's who.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, maybe a who cares.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. BearcastRadio.com. This is the Dennis Daniel Show. We've got Rebecca Forstadt on the air. And my friend wanted me to mention this. He wanted me to ask, what was it like working on the classic? And I don't know if I remember watching this as a little kid or not. It was Grimm's Fairy Tale Classics.
Oh wow, that was a while back.
I know. I was watching one on YouTube because apparently they haven't released anything to DVD yet, and this one line stuck out. I don't remember the name of the story. It was the one where the kid drinks the water and he turns into like a deer or something, and this line stuck out. If you drink the water, you'll turn into a wolf, and then you will eat me. And it's like, I mean, what was it like voicing, doing all these classic childhood stories?
Wow, I'm trying to even remember doing it because, it's been such a long time, and a lot of the projects just sort of melt into the other ones, I don't remember a whole lot of them. A lot of times I'll come in and I'll just do my own part. Usually that's what happens, and so I don't really know what the rest of the story's about.
Yeah, that's understandable. You can't keep these things fresh. But like I said, you've been in so many different shows. It's amazing.
Yeah, and they don't hardly, I think maybe once in my whole career, they gave us a copy of the show that we worked on.
Yeah.
They just sort of go off and wherever they go, and unless it's on TV or something, we don't really see them.
It's like they want you to buy the product themselves because they're hurting.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
It's like when I graduated college this year. What was my senior gift? It was a bill. I ended up having to pay them $18.19 to celebrate when UC was founded, and then their gift was they'll take $10 off. So I still owe them like $8.19 a year. What kind of gift is that? What was the second prize? Jury duty?
Oh yeah, I was listening to your friend talking about that. I'm so looking forward to doing jury duty on the 24th.
Okay, well, if it's anything like things are ran here in Cincinnati, Ohio, you may just want to, gouge your eyes out or commit suicide because it could have thought of many other things that I would rather be doing.
Oh yeah, I think everybody does.
or I have an idea, and I this is crazy, but it just might work. And don't go in. If they call in, ask where you are. Use the little kid voice, like in your little monologue thing on your animation reel.
Oh, great, and I'm going to come and arrest me.
Hey.
Well, no, they won't arrest you for doing that, but they will arrest you if you go and then leave before you're dismissed.
Oh, wow.
That's the thing. If you're not going to go, then don't go at all. Just say you never got the letter in the mail.
Oh, yeah, no, unfortunately, I got it and postponed it a few times already.
Gotcha.
It makes me worried when I got to serve jury duty. Thank you, Johnny. He's a criminal justice major, so he knows these things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my dream is to be Jack McCoy off Law and Order.
Oh, wow.
Gonk.
That would be, I don't know, I'm a geek, I guess, but that would be awesome. He'll send you up the river for jaywalking, and that's what I aspire to be.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess Matlock is out of the question.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, if you could by chance be any one of the characters you have done, who would you want to be?
Wow. I never thought of that. I guess I would want to be Minmay because she was a big singing star, and that would be cool.
Now, do you have any hobbies outside of voice acting?
Yeah, I do actually. I do a lot of other things besides voice acting. I work with entrepreneurs, and I help them it's a big organization that I belong to that helps them to build their business to the next level. So I help people get involved with that. And then I'm also a blogger, and I help people to get their blogs set up and configured. So I really love to do that.
Well, maybe you'll have to help me get my little business, Little Professor Productions, up and running.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be the go-to person here, John. You want to get a business.
Yeah, very well.
You're going to get a cutthroat legal business. You go to Rebecca here.
You wouldn't happen to be available.
That's where I take my writing creativity now as a blogger. Not just my voice acting blog, but I have several other blogs as well.
Now, we are coming from the College Conservatory of Music at the University of Cincinnati. A lot of theater majors, vocal majors, voice majors, lieutenant majors. Do you have any advice for those who want to get their start in the acting or voicing business?
Well, the whole industry's changed a lot. So, it used to be that you had to be in a market where there was a lot of work, like Los Angeles or New York or Vancouver. But now they have all this stuff on the internet where you can actually go online and pay to audition, which I hate. I hate the whole concept of that, but you can do it from anywhere just about. But I would suggest that if you want to be a voice actor, that you need to take some theater or some improvisation and learn how to act. Because there's a lot of people out there that want to be voice actors, but they're not actors. And it takes a certain kind of presence and the ability to talk into a microphone to be able to be a voice actor. So just, any kind of improv skills always help. And then you just have to be persistent. And, the biggest market in voice acting is doing commercials. So that's where you're going to make the most money.
John had a joke set up for you, but he doesn't want to say it now.
I did. So you said anybody who could be good at talking into a microphone could be a voice actor?
Oh, yeah, you guys are great. You could.
Thank you, Rebecca. That's so nice of you.
Yes, we do appreciate.
Yeah, you guys could definitely do it.
We do. We do appreciate it. But I was just thinking, could Casey Kasem be a voice actor?
He already is a voice actor.
I'm Casey Kasem.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
He's a really rich voice actor.
Shaggy.
I thought he just did the top 40.
Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Guys especially who are. They can do those commercials in between TV shows, or they can do movie trailers. Those guys make a huge amount of money. There was this voice actor, he recently passed away, unfortunately. His name was Don LaFontaine.
Wait, the movie guy?
Yeah, he did all the movie trailers.
Wait, he died?
Yeah.
When?
No.
This is
a couple years ago.
This is news to us.
Yeah, he would go in a limo just to go to all of his appointments.
Nice. It sounds like I'm in the wrong business here.
Oh, he made huge amounts of money.
Tons
of
money.
He's dead?
We had absolutely no idea. I don't think this got any...
Well, he wasn't that old. He was like 60-something.
68.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I don't even remember seeing this in the news or anything. It must have not gotten much
I'm
press.
Sorry to give you that news. Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
Huh.
Oh, my God.
He actually used to be with my agent.
We will have to do a tribute for that.
In a world without the man who does the voices for movies.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was incredible.
That's terrible.
Well, maybe
that kind of saddened me a little bit.
Gosh. Well, I don't know if we could be voice actors. I mean, I've still got this. I still feel like I'm 13 years old for some reason.
No, you have a great voice.
Well,
or at least do radio or something.
Oh yeah. Coming here on the Alt Taste Explosion.
I'm Casey Kasem.
I'm Casey Miller.
Yeah.
Well, then again, I can't be the next Rebecca Forstadt. So.
No, I don't think you're a competition for me.
Well, how could I be competition for Tama-chan? From Bottle Fairy. That's from my sister. She loves Bottle Fairy.
Oh right, yeah.
Fairy in the bottle.
That was a cute one.
That makes no sense. And they think that the sensei knows everything. He doesn't know crap about crap. So he. So they got the wrong sources. I would just kept them in the bottle, let them just a little suffocate. That was a dark joke, and that was the only dark joke of the show. We're going to start taking audience questions at DJ Bearcast on AIM. Our Facebook page is All Taste Explosion or The Dennis Daniels Show on Facebook. Follow us there. It's awesome. We got a Facebook page, John.
Do we?
Yeah, we have one.
I did not know this.
This first one comes from my friend Cedric Smith. He's a really big fan, and he wanted me to tell you that. Let me see if I can read this right. I am a big fan of your voice. You have a wonderful little kid voice, and I don't know if you remember me, but we met at SugoiCon in 2002, and all I have to say is I loved you as Suisei Seki from Rose Maiden.
Oh, great. Thank you. Well, that name does sound familiar. It's not a hard one to forget.
Maybe you know he was a black guy, glasses, dressed in.
Yeah, I think I do. I think I do remember who that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, there you go, Cedric. There you go. You're welcome,
Cedric.
But what was it like voicing Suisei Seki?
Oh, it was crazy. She was wild. She was just like off the wall sometimes. So I had to be really careful with my voice because she was screaming a lot. Just kind of crazy.
I think she was a punk. Little punk. She's saying she's hating humans and they're taking care of her. We don't cotton to that.
Might have to meet her at the bike racks after school.
But if she's a doll, John, how would she get to the bike racks?
Well, you see that I don't know. I'm not responsible for that part. I'm just responsible for meeting her at the bike racks.
So I guess you don't want. I guess you shouldn't go to an anime convention because you'll probably see one there and you'll be going, "I'm gonna kick your ass."
Exactly. No offense to anybody, but I wouldn't be caught dead at an anime convention.
What about A&G? We're going to be at in March.
Well, that's a gaming convention as well. I'm talking, what is it, SugoiCon, or what was the one in Baltimore that you just went to?
Otakon?
Otakon, yeah. You couldn't pay me to go there. No offense to anybody, just not my thing.
Hey, you see why it's called the Dennis Daniels Show.
Oh,
Okay.
buzzkill.
Our next question is from Victor Rodriguez. Victor Rodriguez, which did you consider your most challenging voice actress role?
The Gatekeeper, I think.
Gatekeeper.
Because that was really different from my normal voice. Usually, a lot of times, I really get cast to do my natural voice, so it's not that difficult. But that one, it was a much lower range, so I had to really work on that. And also doing boy voices is a little bit harder for me than girl voices.
Oh, you did some boys. I'm trying to remember what.
We could imagine those being a little more difficult for you.
We were
Yeah.
when we were talking
Go
to
figure.
Wendy. We're talking to Wendy Lee. She had problems. She couldn't really hold on to Yahiko from Rurouni Kenshin, and it would eventually really hurt her voice.
Yeah, it's a little rough sometimes if you get into a range and you have to sustain it. If it's just a few lines or something, then it's okay. But if it's for a large part, then it can be difficult sometimes. And then when I was doing Miss Giggles on the Mr. Men show, we had recently had a bunch of fires in where I live, and there was just smoke in the air. It was awful. So I had a really hard time breathing. I actually had to go to an emergency room and get an inhaler for a while.
Uh-oh.
And it was just because of this. The fire wasn't at my house, but it was really like I could have walked to it,
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been funny though, doing the giggles. Doing the giggles in the coffin. It looked like Miss Giggles has a has a smoking problem.
Yeah, I don't even know if my lungs are still back to normal. I don't know. I haven't had to do anything really hard.
one of those California wildfires.
Yeah.
Come out to Cincinnati. We ain't got that kind of stuff.
Well, we don't have wildfires. We just have, 80-degree weather one day and then snow the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Russian roulette with our weather. So now, of course, with voicing, sometimes it can be a real strain on the vocal cords. Do you have any remedies or tips for those who want to pursue it but don't want to shatter their voice box into Kingdom Come?
Well, when I was working at Knott's Berry Farm, the guy that worked there, he was this old vaudevillian, and he used to give us this herb called horehound, and it's sort of like it's almost like a candy, and it's made with this stuff called horehound. It tastes horrible, but it really works on your voice. And then the other thing would be just some tea with lemon, like hot lemonade. Just heat up, squeeze lemons, and then heat it up in water, and maybe put some ginger or something in there. That usually works pretty good.
I heard. I just recently took a class, Music of the Beatles, and something that John Lennon always did when he was having voice problems, he would eat cough drops, drink milk, and smoke cigarettes.
Oy.
Yeah, that was his.
Well, drinking milk, any kind of dairy stuff is really bad when you have problems with your voice because it just gets all gunky in there. So you have to stay away from that. And then eating apples. Sometimes they'll give you apples in the studio just to keep your mouth from popping. Like if you get a dry mouth, sometimes you get that smacky kind of sound. And so they give you these green apples to eat.
Yeah. Apple a day keeps the doctor away.
That's true, yeah.
Or it doesn't.
It's healthy, too.
Our next question comes from Yuki Pones 00. Did you enjoy alternating to the different extremes of Rika's voice in When They Cry? And I can see how that would be a very fun role for a voice actress to do.
That was strange doing that. Especially that little end thing where she'd have this really deep voice. It was weird. It was kind of strange.
That show was kind of messed up.
Yeah, it was pretty violent.
At the end, how does she die? She takes a knife and just keeps stabbing her throat like.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's violent. Jeez, I don't think I want to watch any of that.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's fingernail removal. This one girl beats a girlfriend in with a steel pole.
Oh, jeez.
Japan, what in the world are you all thinking?
I'm not sure.
Corrupting my virgin eyes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
We've seen some pretty messed up stuff, but When They Cry, that takes it to an all new level.
Sometimes I don't know what they are thinking.
I'm like, it's just stupefying. It's like you see it and it's like a train wreck. You want to look away, but you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're kids.
That's even more jacked up. I don't know. It's one thing when you watch adults do that, violence like that, but with kids, that's just dark.
That's dark.
Yeah, I have to say there's some things in anime that sometimes you just don't feel like you're contributing to the good of mankind.
Yeah. I would feel bad after being a part of something like that. I don't know. Personally, that's just me.
There are sometimes you just have to say, well, I don't know if I could do that. But it depends on how hungry you are.
Exactly. It depends on how much cash flow is coming your way.
You gotta have that. You gotta have a universal lubricant. If you need that, then maybe you gotta do a kid. Cutting some people up. Not saying. Now, I've been getting along with Rika. We've been getting all kinds of. Hey, we love the Higurashi English fan dub. We hate it. We call it the fail dub. What's Sierra? And this comment is from Gladiator Beast MCK. Wait a minute. She's famous for the Higurashi English fail dub? Poor woman. May your soul rest in peace and not being screamed at by the Sonozaki twins. What is your take on working on When They Cry?
Well, yeah, I agree with you that it was it was kind of overly violent. I don't really enjoy doing that. I was kind of surprised at what it was about, and I don't know. I should have said no.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's like Wendy Lee told us, you don't get to pick what you get to do and what you don't get to do. You take what's available.
Well, right now, with the economy the way it is, it's like, somebody hands you a voice acting job and you're like, yay, because right now, just recently in the last year or so, it's gotten very slow, especially in Los Angeles. And so, somebody gives you something and you're going, yeah, I need to eat.
Yeah, so Gladiator Beast, shut up. She didn't choose not to do the show. It's like I say, survival of the fittest.
Well, that's why I do other things sometimes too, because I like to be able to contribute more.
You bite the bullet and you deliver. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Now, I also read that you're part of what they call an ADR Loop group. What is that?
Actually, I'm not part of one right now. I was part of one. What we do is we go and we kind of sweeten up the dialogue on feature films. So, like, I did the background voices in the movie Ants and Dr. Dolittle and the Santa Claus, and there's been quite a few other ones that I've worked on. And so we're, like, doing the extras voices, and sometimes we'll replace people's voices if, say, like, the sound wasn't good that day or an airplane flew over and they needed to replace somebody's voice or the person was a bad actor. One time I replaced a kid's voice in a feature film. I don't know if it was Cyborg or it was some film like that. And the girl that they got, they hired this kid that was I guess from the South, and she had a really, really thick accent. And so I had to go in and just do kind of like a more generic accent for her. But that's a very lucrative thing to do.
Yeah, I believe when Wendy Lee was talking to us about, being part of that extensive group, she worked on Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery, and she was the liquid warm goo phase voice.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's a good gig.
I know. Being part of anything with Mike Myers is good, unless it's that I married an axe murderer. didn't really care for that.
Right.
Are there any upcoming projects that you're working on that you can tell us about?
I wish I could say I was. But, like, as I said, it's been kind of dead. The thing that's been going on in L.A. right now has been mainly games. And games are normally, a lot of guy voices and, tough female voices, I guess. Not so much kid voices. So right now, I don't. I need something. I
think you could do the tough kid voices, I mean, if you look at the reach of like Wendy Lee or Vic Mignogna, I think you could just easily do one of those tough kid or tough girl voices just as well as they could.
Yeah, well, thanks.
So
I think so too.
So if there are any gamers,
there's like a new crop of people. It's kind of funny because there's a lot of people that came from Texas, because Texas is really going crazy. That's where all the anime is right now, which is kind of different. But some of those people moved to LA, so they go back and forth. So, and I've been kind of busy doing some other stuff, so I haven't really been like out there bugging people or whatever. Usually, when there's a project that I'm good for, people that I work with will call me. So I'm just kind of hoping that it'll get busier in that area.
Yep. So all you guys out there looking for a kid voice, she's the one you can go to. So
yeah.
So if they start picking up, well then we're gonna start busting some kneecaps. Get this girl some work. She's a jewel. She's better kid voice than a lot of these little kids doing voices.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I heard that first one you were talking about because your kid voice, and when you have someone answer the phone, they go, "Is your mommy in?" And then you go, "Yeah, but she's falling. She can't get up." So and that was gold.
Oh, thank you. I wrote that.
She's fallen, and that's hilarious. That seems extremely mean, but that is awesome.
Well, you got to hear it in the context. It's solid gold.
That's okay. That sounds good in my book.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, we got another question from one of our listeners. Will you be making any appearances at any local conventions soon? Any cons by chance?
I just did some in September. They had like 4 in a row in September, which was kind of cool. I went to Denver to NandesuCon and also to SAC Anime. And then we had like a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reunion and the Robotech reunion, so that was really fun. But I'm not booked for anything right now, but I love to take vacations to, exotic places. So if anybody's got anything, kind of cool, let me know.
Might have to have you come back to SugoiCon.
Some of the voice actors, I think they have like an agent that goes out and gets them those conventions. But for me, it's usually just somebody invites me and then I'll go.
Exactly.
And I did 2 SugoiCons. Yeah, I did 2 of those.
02 and 03?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I know I met you at 03, and that's where I got the photo signed. So
yeah, well, they were 2 in a row. I remember.
I've only gone to 03 for the first one, but yeah, I'm in connections with the public relations guy or the press guy, and maybe I'll have to give him a bit of a ring-a-ding-ding,
Yeah, you can come to Cincinnati, but we can't guarantee that it will be quote unquote exotic.
Yeah, well, I have been there before.
I mean,
but it's really funny because I did something in Columbus, Ohio, and it's called this Marcon convention, and it was not all anime. It was mainly, like a lot of it was science fiction, and I wasn't really sure. Like I'm thinking, Columbus, Ohio, it couldn't be that exciting. And somebody had called me to go to Toronto the same weekend, but they'd already booked the Columbus, Ohio. And then it turned out that Columbus, Ohio was like a really cool place. It was really charming and really interesting, so I enjoyed going. I like to travel, so
yeah, Columbus.
I'd love to go to a convention in Australia or England or someplace
nice.
like that.
Well, I don't know if you've ever been to Australia, but that's like a 24-hour flight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my son actually just flew back from Japan recently.
Oh, nice.
He was there he's in the Air Force.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Have you got any great any stories by chance working with some of the people on Robotech? Any funny memories or good stories, or maybe a incident that occurred that was just so funny?
Oh wow! I'm not the storyteller actor.
Oh, that's more than okay. That's more than okay.
No, but we just always had fun on that, and when we were doing that show on Robotech, we were working some really crazy hours. Like we'd come and we'd be doing a play at night, and then we'd come after the play and go and dub until like 2 or 3 in the morning sometimes. So, yeah, it was a pretty wild time, but we had a lot of fun doing it.
Couple of crazy guys.
And they're all crazy, yeah, they're funny.
Crazy kids running around doing all them voices and plays and whatnot.
Yeah.
You describe yourself on a website as a kid voice actor. Now, why do you feel that best describes you, despite, having voiced other various adults as well?
Because, when you're a voice actor, you want to go with what you're the best at. There's a lot of people out there that can do, young women or, grandmas or something. I mean, I can do that, but it's not going to sound as good as some of the other actors. and then they're not going to sound as good as doing a kid as I do, because my voice sounds like a really natural kid. It doesn't so much sound like a cartoony kid as much as that I can actually replace a kid.
Maybe you can replace our sister. Oh.
So that's why I do mainly kid voices, because that's really what my little niche is, I guess.
Hey, everyone's got their niche in voice acting. Like, again, with Wendy Lee, she's known for doing these sexy, sultry, powerful women, and you kids, because, hey, there are plenty of anime out there that have little kids as the star, and
It's actually, like, if you can have a normal voice, you probably have more range for you, but then not everybody can do a kid, and a lot of times they don't want to hire a kid and, have to hire a studio teacher or something, and they just need somebody to come in and do something that's kind of complicated, and that's when I usually get to go in and do it.
These guys doing bad kids, it's messing with your bread and butter, Can't have people messing with Rebecca Forstadt's bread and butter.
Yeah, there's some bad kid voices out there.
You left an incredible legacy over your 30-year career, countless memories, countless characters, people that will be remembered for years to come. Generations will look back and say, hey, she is pretty kick-ass.
Thank you.
Do you have any words of wisdom you would like to leave this generation or the next generation of voice actors?
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? It would be nice if you guys could just, get anime back here.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. Here, you know what? We'll do a little public service announcement to get anime back over to the. You want it back in California or back in America?
In Los Angeles, yeah. Bring it to LA.
All right.
And I think just when you want to pursue it, if it's something that you really want to do, just be serious about being an actor, and study and just go for it.
Yeah, so we'll do that right now. We'll do that right now, folks. Anime is pretty darn good. Well, unless you're John, who doesn't like anime altogether, so that's not important. The point is, we need it back here in America. And more importantly, we need it back in California, so we can have more little kid voices like Rebecca doing them, and it'd be pretty funny, and we'll laugh really loud and out loud. So please, Japan, start making more anime so we can dub them, so we can listen to Rebecca do little kid voices, because they're pretty funny. So don't be sending it to Texas or New York City, unless it's 4 kids. 4 kids, then yeah, you can have it, but we don't want to get our hands on that. So I'm just Daniel. I approve this message. I think they get the message. Well, Rebecca, I thank you so much for being on the show. It was such a pleasure. What else can we say? It was a laugh and a half.
Oh, I'm glad. I enjoyed it too. It was really fun.
So we'll have to have you back on the show real soon if you have any upcoming projects or you just want to come on here and say something crazy. Okay, we thank you so much for being on here, and this has been the Dennis Daniels Show. We will see you all here next time. Same Dennis Daniels station, same Dennis Daniels channel. Until next time, good night, Vladimir.